J.B. Taylor, author of Discovery, Magica, comedy, which is so far my best reviewed book yet. I have a YouTube channel. Occasionally put stuff on. I was a rocket doing like 100 a day. Now I'm doing like one a month. So, and I do This Week in Indies, and it's 1 in the morning. And actually, John Archer, a comedy, is now live on Audible. So if you want to go listen to that, you can. And
if you had to use one line you have written to describe the artist you started out as, what would that line be?
This was by far the toughest, because I'm a bit like Stephen King when it comes to writing. This is the only similarity I have with the master, because he's so. When we finish a story, we just kind of move on. We just kind of drop it. I was like scouring stories, looking, okay, like what have I said? And the only thing number 2, it was between why, which is fitting. Buckle up. It's going to be one hell of a ride. So I have to go with the latter. I'm self-taught. The first story I ever wrote, there were no quotations. There was no breaks. It was a train wreck. And that line's very apt because I was determined. I had a story to tell, and it's been one hell of a ride because I have learned so much and taught myself so much that that line's apt.
Near the end of a project, what is the emotion you find yourself more often feeling, and how long does it typically last?
So usually by the time I'm done with the story, I'm just relieved that coherently bring a character out and put together the puzzle that is the story. Usually it's just relief. There's only been one story, which is that's the story that I keep failing with over and over again. But there's only been one story. Chaos is its title. A character has stuck with me. Her name is Ava Pierce. Love her character, and every time I finish an attempt of that story, I always miss her, and I always miss her action and the adventure that she gets into. With the exception to that story, I usually don't feel anything, which is terrible.
Dealing with critics, you've always found it better to what?
I just don't give a shit. I don't care. I understand that I am best, but I love it, and I strive to get better with every story I write. You can't, as in life, as in with anything and everything, you can't please everybody. There's going to be someone that loves it, or there's going to be someone that sincere urge to set your story on fire. When I first started, but I had one review that just kicked me in the balls, and I was down for like a day. Why do you care? I mean, no one or anything is ever universally loved. So if you're going to write out there, you just have to suck it up and deal.
You were a mad scientist and could actually bring one of your characters to life. Who would that be, and why?
If I could bring one character to life, I would have to go with Ava Lilith Pierce from a story I have been trying to get right forever, Chaos. She is in her early 20s. She comes from a planet known as Iton. And there's no such thing as religion or censorship. Eh, the planet evolved um, logically. They developed morals and a sense of understanding. Um, there's no such thing as race or gender. Um, you're who you are, and they're very open and honest and sort of hippie like, but yeah, not as laid back. They're they're chill, but they're fierce and loyal. Not that hippies aren't loyal, but and they're they're just cool customers. They just go with the flow. Um, they're just awesome people, and so you take someone from this world and see what happens is on Titan they're attacked and they have an alliance with Earth. Um, and so our military comes in and like what happens in real life, you want the people you're helping to understand you better, so you introduce them to your culture. And so this young Ava, who's 15 at the time, is introduced to pop culture. Um, Madonna, the Ramones, George Michael, and gosh, all the great stuff of pop culture, all the way up from those I just mentioned to today and beyond, because it is the future. My cats are insane. Um, and yeah, you introduce her to that, and you get this very interesting, very unique person. uh, she's just awesome, and I think it would be pretty cool to hang out with her. So Ava, for sure.
Evening the playing field where you never had to be concerned about money, time, resources. Give us one way in which you would be the same artist you are right now, and one way in which you would be vastly different.
Honestly, I would just have the best computer for video purposes. I'd want to be able to watch as many documentaries as I could, have as many windows open as possible. Yeah, I would just have the best writing program. I would lock down for editorial services Ellie Fitzpatrick and Christy Stratus. They would be paid well and would edit all my uh, stuff. Yeah, I would want to have. Of all that, I think I would want for sure to have the editing services. Because if I had to, I mean, I would write my stories on paper and like scan them and send them to an editor if I had to. Um, yeah, so just the regular stuff, printer, computer, editors. I would probably go all out on Scrivener and try and figure out how to do that. Um, I tried once and it was a nightmare. But yeah, just stuff like that. Thank you, Joe, for having me on. This has been a lot of fun. I enjoy doing stuff like this, and I've honored to be on your coffee break show. Thanks for having me.
It's such a subjective thing to put your art out there and let other people view it, but it's even more subjective to sit there and go, you know what, I put out this art. Why do I have to take your crap?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of like a painting. You look at it and see something different, and very much artist. And as long as you like it, that's really all that matters. Yeah. It's officially too late. I need to go to bed, but I won't.